Hi, I'm Amanda Bush, your host for the virtual Space TV show. This time with the following stories. Students compete in robot races on the space station. Skylon, a single-stage longshot. Garriott, man on a mission. After that, Jim will report on the latest sun activities. On January 23rd, the Zero Robotics Championship was held simultaneously at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and on the International Space Station. 38 student teams selected as finalists came to compete for space robotics glory. Their goal was to see who could best program spherical robots to fly through a pre-selected course on the ISS. The movements represented the sort of actions that a robot would need to do to mine an asteroid. The teams prepared for the competition with animated robots in a virtual environment. For the championship, their software ran real robots on the station. The teams gathered in a large auditorium at MIT with a giant monitor showing a broadcast from the ISS with astronauts Don Pettit and Andre Coopers. They helped to set up the basketball-sized robots, which moved via compressed gas. The astronauts also refereed the action and kept score. In each round, both a red and a blue sphere would move together and follow their pre-programmed trajectories. Scoring was according to how closely the spheres followed the course, and on the time it took them. The Spheres Challenge was won by Team Rocket, which has members from high schools in Maryland, New Jersey and Florida. In futuristic sci-fi movies, space travelers start their journey by getting into a rocket ship and taking off straight to orbit. There's no splitting into stages on the way up. This sort of single-stage to-orbit spaceship, or S02, has long been the dream of space enthusiasts. However, the physics of a S02 rocket with chemical fuel requires that about 90% of the initial mass of the vehicle consist of just propellants, that is, fuel and oxidizer. That leaves just 10% of the mass for the payload plus the structure, the instrumentation, return fuel, and all the other operational essentials. Some believe it is possible to build a S02 rocket vehicle using super-light composites and other high-tech equipment, and have room left for a useful payload. However, most designs today for first-generation reusable rockets use at least 2 stages. Alan Bond and his collaborators at Reaction Engines in England believe they can build their Skylon single-stage spaceship by taking advantage of oxygen in the air for the initial phase of the flight. This will reduce the amount of oxidizer they must carry inside the rocket. They have designed a special type of rocket engine called Sabre that can burn fuel initially with dense cooled air obtained from the atmosphere. Once it reaches Mach 5 and a high altitude, the rocket would switch to onboard liquid oxygen. The team is about to begin tests of a prototype of the crucial pre-cooler technology. If this is successful, they hope to obtain funding to continue development of the Skylon. It could fly to space and back up to 200 times, and could carry about 12 tons of payload to low Earth orbit. Total development cost is currently estimated at $12 billion. Whether it could be competitive with a 2-stage reusable vehicle with conventional rocket engines is yet to be proven. On October 12, 2008, Garriott became the 6th private astronaut to pay his own way to space when he launched on a Soyuz rocket to the International Space Station. He also became the first American second-generation space traveler. His father, astronaut Garriott, spent over 60 days on Skylab in 1973. During Richard Garriott's 10 days on the station, he carried out a wide range of educational and scientific activities such as doing physics demonstrations and communicating with students via the amateur radio station on the ISS. He also earned a few $1 million carrying out several commercial microgravity experiments. Garriott had wanted to be an astronaut like his father while growing up, but poor eyesight kept him grounded. He instead became a leader in computer gaming. The money he made in that field paid for his trips to space as well as for the many investments he has made in commercial space firms. The documentary film, Man on a Mission, tells Garriott's story about going to space. The film was released to theaters in January. Reviewers who think space flight is exciting have tended to give the film great reviews, while non-space fans didn't like it that much. During his stay on the station, Garriott also made an 8-minute-long science fiction film called Apogee of Fear. He enlisted ISS crew members as actors in his space directorial debut. It is believed to be the first science fiction film ever made in space. Some bureaucratic NASA rules have kept him from showing it publicly, but recently NASA gave him permission to release it. And now over to James with the latest updates on the space weather. What's up, Jim?
Hi, I'm James C. Birk, this time reporting on another potential threat from space. Our sun has been in quite a bad mood recently. It has erupted several times this month and sent out huge solar flares. These coronal mass eruptions, or CMEs, hurl gigantic waves of solar particles into the solar system, and some of this has hit Earth. This has caused overloads in some electrical systems on Earth and pumped up the auroras into spectacular displays. The crew of 6 on the International Space Station are generally protected from the solar storm by the Earth's magnetic fields. However, they do get to enjoy the auroral shows. As activity grows on the Sun, in the coming peak in the solar cycle, more such eruptions could be heading our way. And here is a short summary on the solar activity on January 23rd. That day around 4 o'clock UTC, the sunspot 1402 erupted. Now watch that gigantic CME. Nice. Just fantastic and powerful. The SOHO spacecraft as well as the stereo behind probe both recorded the solar outbreak too. Back to you, Amanda.
Thanks, Jim. I hope that you are looking forward to our next show, which is scheduled for the end of this month. Also keep checking www.hobbyspace.com for the latest space news. See you.